Okay, everybody. Today we are going to be working on identifying equal halves by circling or shading shapes with two equal parts. So I want you to start thinking about the word half as our vocabulary word today. So here are some examples of what a equal half looks like. So this is just a square, but it has a line down the middle because we are trying to show a half. If a shape is divided into two shapes, or two pieces, like this one is, it has to be equal on both sides. This one's also equal because this side is the same size as this side. This triangle is also divided into equal halves, or to two equal parts, because this side of the triangle is the same side as this side. I also want you to think of what a not equal parts looks like. Yes, this square is divided into two equal parts, or into two parts, but it's not equal. This side is much smaller than this side. If you look at this circle in the center, this little piece is much, much smaller than this side over here. So yes, it's divided into two parts, but they are not equal, or no, they have no equal parts. This triangle is also divided into two, or separated into two, but it is not equal. They are not equal sizes. If I was to take a pair of scissors and cut this triangle right along this line, this side and this side would not be the same. So I want you to keep the difference between equal parts, both sides or both parts are the same, and not equal or no equal parts. The pieces are not the same in your head as we go forward today. Okay, so today we are working on separating or partitioning our shape into equal halves. So just like you're going to do in your independent practice today, you're going to use the line tool to separate shapes into equal halves. So there's more than one way to separate rectangles into equal halves, and I'm just going to show you a couple ways. But make sure that when you are dividing your shapes, that both sides or both pieces of your shape are equal. So I'm going to try the horizontal, and this side are about the same size. And you can also do a rectangle vertically, and you can go kind of as close to the center as you can. I know it's going to be a little difficult on the computer, and it's much easier on paper, but just do the best that you can. And you're going to divide those shapes in half like that. This side and this side are equal. Now another way it's pretty fun, but it's a little tricky. You're going to go from corner to corner, and you can divide a rectangle or partition a rectangle into two equal parts by going corner to corner. And you can also go from this corner to this corner too to show equal halves. But again, if I was going to take a pair of scissors and cut this right along this line, this side and this side would be the same size. So they're equal halves. Let's take a look at some squares. So there's, again, more than one way to partition a square into equal halves. I'm going to start with vertical, up and down. I'm just going to start at the middle of the square and go straight down. You can also, I'm going to use the line tool again, just like you're going to do later today. And I'm going to go horizontal. And I'm going to start in the middle and go across. So this side and this side are the same. So far I've gone vertical and horizontal. And again, I'm going to try that corner to corner. That is also showing a half. Or you could go from the other corner to the other corner. And just think of a pair of scissors. If I was going to cut the shape along these new lines that I made, is this side going to be the same size as this side? Let's take a look at some as some circles and some shapes that we don't really see that often and see if we can divide them into half. So just like with the rectangle and the square, you can do up and down, but circles are kind of fun because you can go diagonally across them and you can still get equal halves. Or if it's just easy for you to remember, go straight up and down and you can still get equal halves. A star, you have to be super careful when you're dividing a star, because if I do this and divide it, I'm not going to have two equal sides. So you have to be really careful. And I'm going to use the straight up and down. But when you're dividing a star, start at the top and go straight down. And if you were going to cut it or fold it and flip this side over to here, they would have to be the same size. So just be really careful when you're dividing stars or partitioning stars. A triangle, there's really only one right way to do a triangle, and that's from the tallest point to the shortest side. Okay? If I were to rotate this triangle, I would still want to partition the triangle from the tallest point, which is here, to the shortest side, which is there. Okay? So keep that in mind as you're working today. Make sure that when you're partitioning your shapes, that both sides are the same size. Okay, so let's do a little practice activity before you start working on your own. So I'm just going to look at some shapes and we're going to decide if it has an equal half or a not equal half. So I can tell by looking at this shape that it's not equal because this side and this piece of the shape are not the same. So I'm going to put it over here. This one, not equal because this part and this part are not equal. This one's equal because they're both the same. This one's equal because both parts are the same. This is equal because they're both the same. This one's not equal because they are not the same size. This one's not equal because they're not the same size either. This one's equal because it goes right down the center. This is not equal because if I was to fold this or cut this right here, these pieces wouldn't be the same. And this one is equal because if I was going to fold this circle in half, this and this would be the same size. So today, remember you're looking at equal and not equal halves. So both parts of the shape must be the same size for it to be equal. If they're not the same, like these two pieces of the circle, they are not equal halves. Alright, I hope this helps you with your activity today. Bye guys.